केवलं ज्ञानमूर्तिं द्वन्द्वातीतं गगनसदृशं तत्त्वमस्यादिलक्ष्यम् एकं नित्यं विमलमचलं सर्वदी साक्षिभूतं भावातीतं त्रिगुणरहितं सद्गुरुं तं नमामि. Nithyanandam, we welcome all the Sri Mahants, Kotaris, Tanedars, Balasanths, visitors and viewers for this Vakyartha Sadhas conducted by Balasanths of Nithyananda Gurukul. Today's topic for Vakyartha Sadhas is what is Upasana and what is Vipasana. And now we will be chanting the 16th verse of the Ishavasya Upanishad.
Ushane Karsheyamasurya Prajapatyavyuharashmin Samohatejo yatte rupam kalyanadamam datte pashyami.
What is Upasana?
What I feel as Upasana is like when we're in the waking state, when we go to an extreme of pleasantness. Whatever you want in our life, you just granted it. If you want to be with Swamiji and go wherever you want to Swamiji, you granted everything. You are just in the immense space of devotion. When you get whatever you want and you're in the extreme of pleasantness, that point what I feel is just like how Swamiji told, you just wake up. You just wake up to the true reality and come into awakening. This is what I feel is Upasana.
I have a question about what Mitra said. He said when the pleasantness, that is like whatever you want, you get. That's what you said. But then if we're really in that space that whatever we want, we get, then how will we even wake up? We'll just be like satisfied with whatever we have. We won't even think of reinventing ourselves if we're already so happy, right? So how will we wake up to the awakened state?
What I understood when Swamiji meant by like the extreme of the sweetest thing like pleasantness is, he gave the example of Varanasi itself. He told there is a place where Mahadeva walked in. This is a place where Mahadeva enjoyed with Devi. And the trees here were like descended from the trees which were there, and they had the darshan of seeing Sadashiva himself. So what I feel is all that is like even a small thing, you just exaggerate on Mahadeva and Swamiji continuously, and you'll be in the such high space that anything happens to you, you'll just exaggerate on Swamiji. Like how Swami told, when there is a flood, you'll not see the small stones which is there. So when the devotion is too high, obviously you'll just wake up to the reality, telling yes, like you're seeking in you will be awakened, and you'll be like only filled with Mahadeva, Swamiji continuously. There will be no other thought inside you other than just exaggerating on them. So what I feel is too sweet like that will awaken you.
What I feel is like when Swamiji was speaking about desires, he told like one way you can compete with those desires is like continuously living like that. Like if you have desire to eat ice cream, like you don't eat breakfast, lunch, dinner, the whole day you just keep on eating ice cream, and you just keep on eating and eating till you get bored and tired of that, and then you'll just feel like you don't want to eat ice cream anymore. So that desire just drops away from you. So what I feel is like if you think that ice cream gives you pleasantness, when you have too much of that, you'll just get bored of that one day and you'll just drop it.
He gave the example of this Varanasi and how we go to the extreme of devotion. So I understood that, but I didn't understand the Vipassana. He was telling that we are continuously denying everything. But isn't it that if you are continuously denying, he told you will start even denying your existence, then it will be completely in incompletion, right?
What I feel is what Swamiji meant by saying when you start denying everything is like you start pushing yourself to the very extreme of everything. Just like how, like all the other sadhus, all of them, they deny everything. They start telling na iti, not this is not the ultimate, this is not the ultimate. Whatever they start understanding that whatever they see is not the ultimate and deny everything is not the ultimate. They're ready to cognize only what is the ultimate. So what I feel is when they start naturally just like purifying, which is the ultimate, this is not the ultimate, this is not the ultimate. Naturally one day they will just awaken to the reality and tell, yes, none of this is ultimate, only consciousness is ultimate.
But then
what I feel is like what Swami told today, he told like in the dream, only when you feel that your dream is not true, you can actually come to the waking state. So same way, even in our life, only when you deny this what we are living in, only then we can go to Swamiji's space. Otherwise, you will be thinking that this is reality and just live in this.
But then but what Mitra, from what Mitra said, he was telling that you will at last achieve the ultimate, which is the consciousness, right? But when you continue denying, you will even deny that also, right? Because anything given to you, you'll just start denying continuously. So even when you're the time you spend with Swamiji, anything you'll just keep denying, right? So how will you wake up to the awakened state?
What I feel is when Swamiji said by denying, they'll deny everything which they feel is not the truth until they hit the ultimate truth, which they completely convinced that's the reality. There is what is the ultimate truth. They'll keep denying everything and just removing everything else. They are only ready to cognize the reality as consciousness. So until they understand that, what I feel is all this they continuously deny and suddenly they just wake up. Just like how when we are sleeping and we have a very bad nightmare and we 10 tigers are chasing us, 2 cobras are chasing us, immediately we just feel terrified of everything, just wake up. In the same way, when we start denying everything, we start to think what is actually the ultimate. All this is not the truth, then what is the truth? We start cognizing and finally we hit upon that the consciousness is the ultimate and you just wake up to the reality.
What I feel is like Swamiji also told before that there are 2 ways to reach enlightenment. Either you accept that everything exists or you deny everything and nothing exists. So in this case, when you deny everything and says that nothing exists, that time you just while you're in the path of seeking, you just deny everything and move ahead to what is the greatest. And Swamiji also told that is the lifestyle of Agoras and Nagas. So they just believe that the ultimate is only there. And once they achieve what is consciousness, once they realize who they are and once they achieve the ultimate, then what I feel is there's no need for you to deny anything else because you'll be living the space of reality.
But in what you said, if you go on denying everything, how will that even lead you to the ultimate? Because you'll deny the devotion you have, you'll deny even the completion part of you. So how will that even lead you to enlightenment?
What I feel is what Swamiji meant by denying today is when you feel that you have one purpose for what you're seeking. We all are seeking to go to the awakened state, the space of Swamiji and Nithyananda. So what I feel is you should deny everything which leads to that. So everything you deny, everything, whatever you have to deny, attachment to food or attachment to clothes, or anything you deny, everything should just lead to the space of Nithyananda.
But then I have a question. We just were discussing that denying from the context of what Swamiji said. But then if you see, Swamiji said that everything is a conscious happening, right? So in every moment cosmos is trying to say us something, make us understand something in life. So why should we deny anything in our life to get our state awakened? Because denying itself is from incompletion. You deny something because you're incomplete about it or something, right?
What I feel is denial is not something bad. It's just saying no to something. The purpose of all our lives is just achieve the space of Shivoham and Nithyanandaham. So what I feel is denying everything which doesn't lead to that purpose is it's correct. Because we're not having any incompletion, we're just moving closer to a purpose of our life.
What I feel is like when you deny something, you're saying that this is not the reality and there's something beyond this. So when you just cognize that there's something beyond this, you start moving more and more closer to consciousness. And at one moment when you reach the consciousness, there'll be no possibility for you to deny the consciousness, because the space of consciousness is only the reality.
Okay, then I have a question. Today Swami told we have to deny even our existence itself. So how is it that when we deny our existence, we are going to achieve the ultimate?
What I understood, and Swamiji said denying your your existence also is maybe like what we think our existence is. Like sometimes like we think we're just a body, we think we're just this. So probably like when Swamiji said that, what I understood is he meant denying even that, because we still haven't cognized completely that we are the consciousness. So we still think we're part of something, we still have some identity. So what I understood when Swamiji said denying our existence is like denying that idea which we have about ourselves.
I have a question on what Sharon has said. She is telling we deny our existence because we know we have to know something ultimate than this, right? But my question is you will even decide to deny your own existence only if you know you're something beyond the body and mind, right? Because if you feel you're the body and mind, why will you even deny yourself? Only if you feel there is something inside you which is beyond this, you will even decide to deny and go achieve that space of ultimate, right?
What I feel is, like, all of us know that we are not the identity we carry, we are the consciousness, we are nothing we see around us. We should not associate ourselves with the things around us, with only the consciousness. But we haven't experienced that ultimate, that we are the consciousness. So when we start denying or saying no to like every identity we have about ourselves, when we associate ourselves with something and we realize that, when we deny that, no, I'm not this identity, I'm not this person. Like this, when you keep denying what you feel about yourself, like all the identity you carry, whether you carry that you're the mind, you're the body, or whatever you have, when you start denying all of the identities you carry, what I feel is ultimately you will only carry the identity of your other consciousness.
What I feel is like we are still not completely into the space of reality. So what we cognize as our existence is also not reality. So whether we might be thinking we are the body and the mind, we'll just go beyond that when we question that and when we just deny that. And even if completion comes, we might be having completion for a different purpose. We might be thinking completion is when we get what we want, or some lower level taste like that. So when we start cognizing like that, we deny that this is not the definition of completion. So then we take some higher purpose and then we just continuously align to that. And when we just deny, we just get to the consciousness and the reality, because there will be nothing else for us to deny.
I have a question. Today Swamiji is telling that the extreme harshness, which is Vipaasana, is renunciation. So, and he also told that you have to continuously deny everything including your existence. So how is denying renunciation?
What I feel is what Swamiji meant by saying Vipassana's renunciation is like whatever is not going to lead us to the ultimate truth of we are the consciousness, when we just deny that, tell not this, I am not this, and just say no to it, and again go towards the consciousness, is what I feel is what Swamiji meant by saying renunciation.
Okay, just adding a point, what I feel is like when you know that something doesn't lead you to the ultimate purpose, then when you see that, okay, if I'm going to possess this, then that will not lead me to this ultimate purpose, so I'll drop this. So I'll just dropping everything is what I think is renunciation. Like the idea about you, the idea about others, the incompletion which you have, when that doesn't lead you to the ultimate purpose, you're just dropping it and moving on to the purpose of your life, is what I think Swami meant by the denial and the renunciation.
What I feel is like whatever old thought current you might be functioning with, when you just deny that and when you reinvent yourself to something more, that time you are just renouncing whatever thought current you might be functioning with. Because when you deny that, you choose that you are not going to live like this, you are going to live beyond this. So when you think that you are going to live something beyond this, that time you are just renouncing that. You are moving that away from a part of you.
What I feel is, if you take the example of Bhamati, her whole life she just renounced it, right? She was continuously in renunciation, where because Mishra had to write the commentary on Brahma Sutras, though she knew that she can avoid spending time with him, she was there continuously doing other things, but not just being with him. But then once after he finishing, he comes and asks, "Who are you?" And she says, "I'm a wife," and she avoids feeling anything because her whole life she was just continuously fulfilled. She never wanted anything. She never expected out of anything out of him. So what I feel is, she was continuously in the renunciation space. But I don't understand how she anyway denied something to get a renunciation in her.
What I feel is, if at that point when Mishra was writing the commentary on Brahma Sutras, if Bhamati, she wanted something else, or she wanted to spend time with him, Bhamati could have always just walked up to Mishra and asked something from him, or asked him to spend time with her. But she said no to that. She decided that her purpose was to serve her husband. She didn't want anything. So she just said no to spending time with him, and she just dedicated herself to serving Mishra all the while. So what I feel is, Bhamati just renounced the whole thing and just spent the whole time on serving Mishra.
Okay, just adding a point, Swami actually explained about this story in Guaranteed Solutions. He told that if, how Mitra told, if anytime she would have wanted, she would have walked up to him and asked for anything she wanted. But she didn't have that, the need of attention from him. She just denied that attention from, to ask anything from him, or show her supremacy over there, that she is his wife or anything. But she was self-centered within herself. She was so complete that she just dedicated her whole life with whatever Mishra was doing. That's what I think, that she did that denial over there. She didn't ask for anything from him. She just denied even the attention from her husband.
I have a question. In today's morning session, Swami just speaking about Upasana, and he told that when we are in the extreme of pleasantness, we will just wake up to the reality. But I don't understand how, because when we have the extreme pleasantness, we will just want to continue being in that space, right? Why would you want to wake up? For example, when you want to be at Swamiji, and when, in the dream, we want to be at Swamiji and we're being with Swamiji, and we're spending lots of time with him. Why would you even want to wake up? Because that will be very pleasant for us. So why would you want to wake up? We'll just continue wanting to be in the dream, right?
What I feel is how, when Swamiji said that today, when you're in the waking state, you won't be able to believe that some things are possible. But then when you dream, that will come in your dream and it'll be too good. It'll be too good for you to believe. So then you'll be in that space of pleasantness. But since you don't, part of you doesn't even believe it, I feel you'll just wake up.
What I feel is, yes, Swamiji gave this as an example, but what I feel is, what Swamiji actually meant is that the two pleasant devotion which we have, it's too much. We'll be literally we will, every moment, every thought will be just how should I become like Swamiji? How should I become like Swamiji? How can we be one with him? Only that, how and all continuously she had that deep devotion and she just merged with Krishna. Same way as Swamiji told, as Shaivate, where they'll continuously have the continuous devotion within them. Continuously you will feel how more can I become even a small thing you'll just exaggerate on Guru, the master, or Mahadeva. So what I feel is, continuously when you have the deep the sweet devotion, that will wake you up and you will awaken the seeking inside you.
Just itself Nandanar. Even though you want to go to Chidambar, Vyas is master, even though you told 0, Nandara have still space of devotion to go to Chidambar. At last, when he came to Chidambar, he just merged to Mahadeva.
I have a question. Today Swamiji was telling in satsang that when Nityanandaites, they live in the space of both Upasana and Vipasana. So my question is how can you live in both? Because when you live in ultimate denial, how can you just accept everything and be pleasant for whatever happened?
What I feel is, the Nityananda that we are living, Swamiji takes up the best of both the ways. He takes up the best of Vipassana and the best of Upasana. And when he just merges them together and gives us the best technique we can for achieving the ultimate. So what I feel is the Nityananda way is designed by Swamiji specially for us to achieve the ultimate in the easiest way.
Adding to his point, what I also feel is that as Swamiji told, he'll put all the process, all the devotion, everything just for us to reach the ultimate. Same thing, like how Swamiji explained, he'll be too extreme at one time, too harsh, where we have to wake up to the state, it will be unable to understand what he's trying to say. So it will be too harsh for us, the continuously denying and renunciation, and we just wake up to the awakened state. Or it will be too sweet, where continuously he is pouring the love and we are too devoted, we are in extreme of devotion and we wake up. So what I feel is Swamiji continuously does both extremes just for us to be in the space of Shivaham.
I have a question about what Mitra told. He said in this, we take the best of both Upasana and Vipassana. What did he mean by that?
What I feel is, because Swamiji knows, who we are more than us. Swamiji knows us more than what we know about ourselves. So he knows what to take which will be best for us. So whatever Swamiji will basically, he will decide what is best for us, based on who we are. For example, at times, just like how Masatyamya told, Swamiji will be extremely harsh at us, just to wake us up to the reality. But at points, it will be so pleasant. So what I feel is Swamiji will take both the things, to the best, just for us to reach the ultimate space of consciousness.
How Swamiji in inner awakening, he give all the luxurious same time, and same time also in Shivam process we renounce everything. So by that way we can reach our ultimate.
I have a doubt. Today only Swami told that we should not be one side, little for Upasana, then going to Vipassana. Either follow one thing, cooperate with one thing. Then what did you actually mean? I really didn't understand by that.
What I feel is Swamiji just takes both and combines the best of them together and makes a perfectly new way for us, which is actually very easy. For example, in the way of Vipassana, when we start denying everything, we are in the end we just face the straightforward, harsh reality. But here in the Nityananda way of living, Swamiji takes the best of both. So when he makes this new way, it will just be the best one for us.
Question: how can we experience the best of both Vipassana and Upasana?
What I feel is, when we can the easiest way to experience both is just attending the Andaman Inner Awakening, the Nityananda 1000 Inner Awakening, where Swamiji will be giving us the new technique of where he combines both Upasana and Vipassana, where we all can experience that ultimate devotion and the ultimate renunciation.
You just decide to leave any one thing, you will be in the right track.
What I feel is, as he just told, being there in Nityanandaham will be really great and helpful for us, because see, as Swamiji told, the first thing he is going to do is pouring his own seeking. Means we will be, Swamiji is telling that the other day that even after enlightenment, the seeking is there in all the enlightened beings, but not in the level of what we understand as seeking, much more higher than what we understand. So if he is going to pour his own seeking, then automatically our seeking will be awakened, and we will have the enlightenment seeking, which is much more than what level we understand now as seeking. So what I feel is, when we move to that level of seeking, we will be in either extremes, either of Vipassana or Upasana, and we will awaken the seeking in us and achieve the space of ultimate, which is enlightenment.
What I feel is essence today Vakyartha Sadhas is that when life presents to us either one Upasana or Vipassana, we must completely cooperate with life and follow one of the traditions. And the Nityananda way, we live both together to suit us. With this, we come to the conclusion of today's Vakyartha Sadhas, and we will continue to explore the deeper truths in the further Vakyartha Sadhas. Now, we will end with the Purna Mantra.
Om Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamataya Purnameva Vasishyate Om Shanti 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 Harihi Om Tat Sat Sarvam Sadguru Padukarpanamastu Om Nityananda